Yeah, Earnestly Speaking Podcast. Let's get it. I'm a giant in New York, in Miami carry heat. So much more in store, my product can flood the street. Opinion Nation Godfather, CEO. Puff in the late 90s, gon' see me blow. Oh. Got my hustle on, no imitation of bad. Army of untouchables, Opinion Nation staff. Never an off season, homie, check the numbers. Heart throbbing my own right, supplying southern comfort. Earnestly speaking, my ego is well fed. Earnestly speaking, you're too evil and no threat. See, I'm like a hurricane, you're a mild breeze. Earnestly speaking, leaving Eli a dynasty.
Podcast coming to you May 9th, 2024. 9 days of being 44 years old. Feel old. All right, joined here once again by the man, the co-host of the It's in the Game podcast, alongside Randy J. Cruz, the man, Sir Denny Blanco. We call him on the podcast. Denny Blanco, what's up, buddy?
Thank you for having me on once again. It is I. It's him. Sir Denny Blanco. It's in the Game podcast, co-hosted with your boy Randy J. Cruz. Thank you so much, EJ, for having me back on just to discuss things that are going on in the world, sports, entertainment. You have it.
Yes, sir.
But it's always a good time having me on. It's a great conversation.
Yes, sir. I mean, we're really in the thick of things in the NBA playoffs, and we will get to the current season series rather that are going on right now as we speak. But before we get there, last week on the show, I had on my boy Zach Degenerate. He was on the show, and we did a segment last week where we gave final letter grades for the teams that at the time were eliminated from the playoffs. There were 3 teams at the time we recorded the podcast last Tuesday. And there's obviously 5 more teams got eliminated since that recording. And I want to touch on those things. We're gonna have Zach. We were gonna have Zach on the show this week originally, but he couldn't make the show this week. So I figured, you know what? Let me throw these on to Denny. Maybe give his perspective on these 5 teams. So the 5 teams that we did not cover, that got eliminated since that podcast were the Sixers, the Clippers, the Magic, the Bucks, and my Miami Heat. So let's go to the first team here, the Sixers. Obviously the 7th seed in the Eastern Conference made the play-in. What grade are you giving the Sixers for this year? I believe they were 47-35 this year to close the year.
I'm giving him a D.
Ooh.
I'm giving him a D. Daryl Morey, I believe he's still the GM there.
Yes.
He promised his Sixers fans, that he was going to build around Tyrese Maxey and Joel Embiid. And his definition of building around was bringing in Buddy Hield and keeping Tobias Harris and bringing in Kelly Oubre. Not enough. Clearly not enough. Your man Embiid just came back from another knee surgery. Your man looked like he was playing on one leg, and he's playing in Paris this year. I don't know how on that leg. The concept of the D is just because of that. The Daryl Morey's the GM, and Sixers fans they deserved more, and the Daryl Morey being the GM didn't do enough for my African brother Joel Embiid to be successful. I mean, when you score 50 on one leg, on one bad leg, you score 50, and you needed Tyrese Maxey and Joel to drop 50 for you to even have a chance to win.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, you got a man who's making $30 million a year, giving you 2 points.
Okay. Mr. Tobias himself.
Tobias Harris. He's been stealing money in Philly for a very, very long time. So in closing, when it comes
so bad, you should take away his first name. Just call him Harris. You lose first name privileges now. Harris.
The player called Harris from the Sixers.
Yeah.
God bless. He's not going to be there next season. I think, it's about damn time. But I give the Sixers a D strictly for those couple of reasons.
It feels a little harsh, though, in a sense, because on one hand, if Joel Embiid was healthy most of the year, there's 2 things that happen here. If Joel Embiid was healthy rest of the season, or most of the year, number one, he's probably MVP of the league based on how he was playing. And then when he came back for the last 8 games of the year, he was still red hot. And the Sixers kept winning games. Number 2, no way in hell the Sixers are a 7th seed in the Eastern Conference. They're not even a play-in. They're most likely a 2 seed in the Eastern Conference. not New York. So they're probably playing a combination of either the Pacers or the Heat in the first round. Who knows where that goes? So there's one hand. So one hand, yes, it feels a little harsh, but at the end of the day, they should beat New York. I believe they were the favorites in the series, even though they didn't have court advantage.
Not with a one-legged Embiid.
Right.
He'd have to be 100% healthy for me to be like, okay.
So I want to go C, but I also want to grade him harshly on the playoff performance because I just say he's injured, but look, you're on the court. It is what it is. You're on the court. So I have to give him a C minus because, yeah, you got past the James Harden thing with ease. Tyrese Maxey made the leap, as we saw, and Mord made the leap. So it was multiple player of the year. He's got awarded 2 weeks ago. But I felt that the playoff performance and that's also baking in the stuff you just said, Joel Embiid's injury and all that stuff.
You know what's interesting?
Yeah.
Joel Embiid is injuries. He's injuries notwithstanding. So him not having, let's say hypothetically in this Thanos world, he doesn't have injuries. You know who he is?
Who is he?
He's possibly Joker.
Yeah. There's no doubt that when he's on the court,
three-time MVP, maybe a championship, maybe easily in the East. Easily in the East. Think about the last 3 or 4 years, maybe since Toronto, since they lost. The Sixers lost in Toronto. Mm-hmm. If he was healthy every single year where you didn't think he was going to go down, he'd be in the finals almost every year. Because that's the East is a guards conference. Obviously, the West got the big boys. Yeah. You got the big boys in the West. In the East it's a guards conference.
He's unlucky. He's unlucky as hell though. Like so, 1 year they lose to Atlanta because of Ben Simmons decides to not show up. Then 1 year they lose to Boston because James Harden's done to show up. It was another one in between there, but I feel like that's one of the most unlucky teams in his, unlucky players in the history of our league in terms of league players. And here's the thing we got to talk about too. Also, he's low key. I feel like his window is a lot smaller than people give him credit for. Like he's still 20. I think he's 29 still, but that window, given the injuries and stuff,
3, possibly 4.
Yeah, and 4 years. And that 4 is literally giving him that's a grace because I'm looking at it as honestly, realistically speaking, when you combine the injuries, unless they actually build around him to where he can take time off, not time off, but like more so ease back and have more help. I'm looking at 2 years, really. Honestly.
Now that makes more sense why he's going to Paris. Now it makes more sense why he's going to Paris. Because I'm sitting back like, what? Your man going to Paris to play with the USA team? Hey, and he could have chose a bunch of teams. He could have been on France's team. He could have been on the African team. He chose to play with the U.S. You know why? Because he said this is probably going to be my only time.
Yep, and he doesn't have to play as much either.
This is probably my only time to get a gold medal. I might as well take advantage of it right now. It's not going to be another time.
It's not bad business. I'll be honest with you. Ain't bad business. All right, next team here. Oh boy, here we go. LA Clippers. Go. Oh my God.
The LA Clippers.
They're the 4th seed, 51-31, lose to the Mavericks in 6.
You know what's it's dying all season. I'm having conversations with Clippers fans. They're like, nah, Kawhi gonna be healthy. Kawhi gonna be healthy.
And he was.
I'm like, nah. But he was for a period of time. I'm sitting back halfway through the season like, hold on now. They're kind of healthy now. I don't know. Then got to come back to earth. Realize that what was I thinking? Putting my all my chips in to the Kawhi Leonard sweepstakes. Sorry, you lose. I give them wow. I give them a D. Let me explain why too. Mm-hmm. I give them a D because they haven't realized when it's a couple of reasons. Number one, the Kawhi injury. you get injured right before the playoffs. I think a couple weeks before the playoffs, so you don't even play in the playoffs.
Right.
Okay. Then you have Paul George deciding he wants to play one game out of 4 while he's getting paid the big bucks. Then you have Russell Westbrook coming off the bench, which was a big to do when it shouldn't have been. Then you have James Harden giving you which I love every year. It's beautiful. James Harden gives you a little flash, little flash of the James Harden from Houston. This little flash for you to think is going to happen every single game. He's like, oh, it's 30, 11, and 11. Oh, he's back.
Nope.
I see you, James. I see what you're doing. Yeah, it's just like, let me give him 1, and then that's it. I'm good. Just 1. I'm just gonna give him 1, and then that's it. It just literally, I'm gonna take 20 shots one game and 2 the next. Okay. You got that. You got the also too, which was interesting to me. Who's the point guard for the Clippers?
It's not Harden, is it? It's Harden, isn't it?
There you go. It's Harden, right? Yeah. You have a guy on your bench, LA Clippers, called Bones Highland.
Bones Highland, yeah.
Phenomenal young guard. Phenomenal. He was doing well at Denver, but Denver said, yo, we got Reggie Jackson, we got Braun, we don't need you. You need playing time. And he was going to get playing time. He was a starter until Russell Westbrook came. Mm-hmm. You're starting James Harden. So at the detriment of your young, talented rookie, he has to sit back and watch this buffoonery. Watch a guy who really doesn't care. Okay? Mm-hmm. D for the Clippers.
I'm there with you, the D as well, too. I also want to go D-, but, they made a 4 seed, which they went better than we thought. The guys stayed healthy during the year, but the meltdown in the playoffs. But I knew it was a bad match for them against Dallas, because Dallas always gives them fits anyway, historically gives them fits. But I thought this would be the year to get through it. So having 7 games, what a disappointment there with Kawhi getting hurt late. And to be honest with you, they didn't win any games with Kawhi anyway. The 2 games they won were without Kawhi.
Exactly. That's
even more crazier.
It's a tease.
It's a tease.
And I don't want to blame Ty Lue. I can't complain. I can't really complain about the chef if the chef doesn't have the ingredients. It's like, this meal sucks. The chef's like, bro, I only had cheese and crackers. What more did you want me to make? I can't make you a full course meal with this.
But can I argue though the Clippers had arguably the best rosters, 1-12 in the entire league, 1-12, or is that just all name value only?
Name value. Yeah. It's name value only. Shout out to Phoenix Suns.
Phoenix Suns. If only we were covering them on this edition. Anyway, next team here, Orlando Magic, who finished the year at 47-35 as the 5 seed in the Eastern Conference.
B. Mm-hmm. Give him a B. I've been watching Banchero for a minute. I call him Baby Mello. 6'8", can shoot the 3, can post, has a mid-range game, has a handle, can shoot free throws. He does it all. And they're young. They're babies. They don't know what they're doing. So Orlando continuously develops Markelle Fultz, develops Banchero, develops the Wagner brothers, develops Cole Anthony. And these babies, they're young. So if you keep these core guys together, Orlando, you'll be all right. You see what OKC did. You see what they're doing now. You keep a good core of guys together, playing together, developing chemistry. Good. B. I give him a B for this season. B.
Yeah, I'll go for that. I'll go A-. I knew it'd be decent this year. I thought it'd be a playing team. The fact they're in the playoffs in a tough East this year too, especially in that glut between 2 and 8, and for them to at least get into the playoffs, says something about where this team is coming from. And again, the young talent there, Banchero and the Wagner brothers and those guys you mentioned, they are one legitimate piece away from really being a problem in the Eastern Conference. What piece that is, I don't know. Obviously, they need outside shooting. That was a problem in this series because Cleveland. They could have won this series against Cleveland also too. But again,
I think they could get it. They have dynamic guards and Suggs and Cole. Yeah. I think they need a true point guard.
Yeah, that's one.
Yeah, they need a true point guard guy who's not going to look for his shot, but create for everybody else.
Let me ask you this: a Klay Thompson can help here. That's a long pause there. That's a no. I'm assuming
Klay Thompson works better on the Sixers than on Orlando.
Oh,
Klay Thompson, you have to understand, he's going to give up some things on defense. He's not the same defender.
right.
But I'm going to assume his jump shot is still pure, right? So you want to be able to get this guy as many good looks as possible. If you're going to be on an Eastern Conference team, who's going to provide you with the most looks as possible? Or should I say, who's going to draw so much attention that you're going to be by yourself tying your shoelace shooting threes? Joel Embiid. It makes sense for him to be on the Sixers than anywhere else because Joel Embiid will draw double teams and he'll just be able to sit out there and hit threes. And I mean, he'd be their best shooter next to Buddy Hield. Next to Buddy going forward.
I'll tell you what though, a lot of teams need a guy like Klay Thompson. There's definitely gonna be a market for Klay Thompson this summer.
Say that one more time.
There'll be a market for Klay Thompson this summer. There'll be a market.
There's a market. Shout out to the children. There's a market. There will always be a market for you when you have a cannon.
Yes, correct.
When you have a cannon, whether we want you on the bench, whether we want you for practice games, whether we want you to take trips, whether we want to plug you in during the playoffs, somebody gets hurt. If you have a cannon, you have a long career in the NBA without a question.
Yep. And I think Orlando is the team you look at. I agree with Philadelphia as well too. The Lakers maybe, but yeah, Orlando had a really good year. I think had a great year considering the circumstances. So yeah, A- for me. All right, next team here, Milwaukee Bucks, 3 seed in the East, finished the year 49-33. You're great there for the Bucks.
Milwaukee. There's a lot going on with Milwaukee. Number one, start from the top. Doc Rivers coming in halfway through the season. What was the expectation for him? $40 million, easiest money ever, half a season. God bless. They dropped in defensive rating. I don't know if that's because of him showing up, but that was a cause for pause. The Holiday trade killed them. Clearly, we've established who won that trade. Number 3, I think Dame was going through a lot this year. He didn't look like the same Dame, even though the numbers were slightly the same. It looked like either two things could be true. He's going through a family matter. Mm-hmm. So either that was on his mind or he really wanted to be in Miami. One or the other. So that's that. Middleton looks like he's finally himself after 2 years of injuries. It looks like he finally broke out of his, he's coming into form where he was before the injury. And it's tough to get there. Shout out to Klay Thompson. It's tough to get there. I haven't seen like a 50-point outburst from Klay in a while. Middleton gave you that in the playoffs. So I'm happy I saw that. Then you have Pat Beverly joining them and throwing basketballs at people's faces in the crowd. God bless. He's gone. He probably won't be back with the Milwaukee Bucks. I don't even know if he'll be still in the league because at this point, what does he provide you? That's another question for a different day. And then we get to Giannis, who, got an injury and then flamed out once again. I think this is 2 years in a row.
3 years in a row. Well, 2 years for him, 3 years in a row for the Bucks.
Yeah, 2 years. Yeah, so 2 years for him. Like literally, I think 2021 he won the chip.
Correct.
23 years ago he won the chip, and we're talking about Giannis can get like 3 or 4 of these Jones. And I
mean, I've been saying this the last couple of years now, and I think people have forgotten this, but it's the Bucks are so unlucky. The Bucks have been kind of lucky since the post-championship. Since 2021 won the title. 2022, Middleton gets hurt. They lose to Boston in 7 games, second round of playoffs. 2023, Giannis gets hurt to Miami, obviously in the first round. They lose that series. And then this year, Giannis misses the entire series, and Dame misses half the series too. Also,
you can't guess when an injury is going to happen. Unfortunately, not. Yeah. Next man up is always going to be the thing, but. Once again, where the timelines, shout out to Marvel. The timelines.
That's 2 now, Marvel.
You're going to get more. You're going to get more.
In 20 minutes. Are you on a Marvel kick right now?
Say again?
Are you on a Marvel kick right now?
I'm on a Marvel WWE.
You're back. Whoa.
No, not so much so back, but I'm laughing at some of the catchphrases I find myself throwing out there, and I'm just like, where's that from? I'm like, oh yeah, that's WWE or Marvel. Yeah. But we were talking about I digress. We were talking about remind me again.
The Bucks,
the Bucks, right? Yeah, I mean, Giannis. We were talking about Giannis actually getting multiple, and we have to understand that it's not easy when it comes to number one being consistently winners, and then number two timelines. That's what I was saying. The Marvel timelines are off. Like that again. Like I said, Joel Embiid, if he's healthy, the last 3 years he's in the finals almost every year. I don't think there's a team that really in the East that could really stop him from doing what he wants to do. So that would have meant Sixers and Boston. Who in the Boston is going to have to deal? Who's going to have to deal with Joel Embiid? Kristaps?
Al Horford. Good luck.
Al Horford. Nom. Barbecue chicken. It's not even a question. Exactly. So but that's what it is with sports in general. Football, basketball, you name it. One injury can alter a timeline. Can literally be like, yo, this championship went here because someone did this. Either Jordan retires and then all of a sudden timelines are split. Houston gets a chip, then it's like, oh, if Jordan was here, would there still be a chip to be handed? So yeah, we're gonna, the Bucks have their work cut out for them for next year for sure.
So great again, them.
Say again?
What grade again, them? What grade?
Bucks. We'll give the Bucks wow. After everything I said, I'll give them a D too.
Yeah, I'll give them a D as well too, because first off, this team felt disappointed when they were to go. Even when they were 30-13, they felt disappointing. Remember, we were doing podcasts, I'm saying that it's some weird.
There was something that was missing. I didn't see the it factor for championship.
And then they fired Adrian Griffin, which I think is a bad look. I know I understand what there's some contention between him and Giannis, but to give up 43 games into the experiment, I think is a bad look. You bring in a guy who is mediocre, one guy who's been milking off one championship that happened 16 years ago, in Doc Rivers. It's a bad look from where it goes. Bad vibes coming into the playoffs, and then look, Doc is going to get a pass. Doc Rivers has a built-in excuse now because of not having Giannis and Doc. Well, that, and then Doc, and then also, we lost to the other, but we didn't have Giannis, which actually is an excuse. But again, by the way, we told windows for Embiid. Giannis window sneaky small also too, because for different reasons though, not because he's not healthy enough, but because the skill set. At some point, if you don't add to your game, that bully ball thing is going to wear on you. And I'm not saying small. I think it's smaller than people give credit for. I say 2-year, 3-year window, title window for Giannis. Title window.
Oh, title. Yeah, title window maybe 2. I think the league hasn't. He's still more athletic than half the league.
That's true.
So, he's developed enough of a jump shot to where he's still going to be effective for the next couple of years. Championship window, absolutely shrinking, because Boston's not going to get any worse. Orlando's not going to get any worse. Cleveland, the New York Knicks, Indiana Pacers, they're gonna get better. So, guys, I wouldn't put Giannis. Giannis is going to have to wake up and realize either he's going to have to stay in Milwaukee or ask for a trade.
Milwaukee is getting sneaky old. Just saying. All right, finally, my team, Miami Heat, 8 seed, play-in team, 46-36 at the end of the year. We're going to give them the Heat.
I give the Heat a C, because I don't expect them to be. I'm looking at the record. I'm like, they're not going to get in the play-in game in the playoffs. They get in. Jimmy gets hurt. I'm like, yeah, I'm looking at their roster. I'm like, who are these guys? Who's Jaime? I knew about Jaime, sidebar, but I knew about Jaime. But then you got the new Jovic character that's playing now. Tyler Hero hadn't played all season, came back during the playoffs. I'm disappointed in Bam. I think Bam, I'm expecting Bam to take another step, and I don't know why. I'm expecting Bam to take another step. Like 20 and 10 is cute. It's cute. But you got Joker getting 30, 20, and 15. You got Giannis getting 30, 20, and 15. And I'm looking at you getting 20 and 10. I'm like, it may not be enough, big bro, but that may only be his game. At this point, Jimmy comes back. What do you have in Miami? Even their point guard. Who's their point guard? I don't even know if they.
Oh, now it's Terry Rozier.
You know, Rozier was hurt too.
Yeah,
now that I'm thinking about it. Yeah, Scary Terry was hurt too. Now that I think about it. So I give him a C because Scary Terry will help them down the future. And then they still have the same kind of roster. And they always play hard. So I give him a C. They'll come back a little bit more healthy next year. For sure.
Yeah, but a lot of people around here, maybe I give him a C as well too, for the same reason, because I felt like, with all the injuries they had this year, the fact they won 46 games, and a lot of Heat fans out here are like, blow it up. I'm like,
nah, a little early.
Why?
A little early for that.
Why? Why are we so panicking to just blow it up? Trade Jimmy the whole nine. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah, it's a little too early for that.
Can I see another year of a full season of Terry Rozier where he can take the pressure off of Bam and Jimmy's minutes for scoring? Next year, which helps Jimmy overall for the playoffs next year. Can we see the young pieces go another year older? Like I feel like I'm the only Heat fan right here in the city to like stop panicking. I'm okay with it. I'm okay running it back.
Every team panics. It is what it is. But
I get it.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Did you see Pat Riley's post game presser?
I did. It reminded me of
For those on the podcast that don't know what we're talking about, I'm going to play a clip of what he said, because Jimmy Butler, after the series against Boston, was spotted at I think an F1 race.
Yeah, Miami. They had their thing down there. Yeah,
last week, and he basically made some comments about like saying that if I was still healthy, New York would be in the playoffs anymore, and he with Boston. And Pat Riley had his State of the Heat, State of the Union here, we call it here in Miami presser. You hear from Pat Riley twice a year normally here during the year. It's the beginning of the year. And then at the end of the year, that is it. And Pat Riley's always mute the rest of the year. But he had some words about Jimmy Butler. I'm going to play here real quick, which basically got a lot of people talking. Here it is. I can find it.
For him to say that, I thought, is that Jimmy trolling or is that Jimmy serious? If you're not on the court playing against Boston or on the court playing against the New York Knicks, you should keep your mouth shut in your criticism of those teams.
All right. Your thoughts on that? Is Pat Riley out of touch, or is he at a point there?
No, he's the Godfather. He is Tony Soprano. He is.
Which, by the way, I almost done that show. I'm watching right now as we speak. I'm almost done with it.
The Sopranos?
Yeah.
Very, very good. Very, very good.
Phenomenal show.
Phenomenal show. Yeah, he's Tony Soprano / Walter White / you name any boss. He's pretty much translation, the NBA whisperer. Let me tell you what he was saying. Jimmy, shut up. I don't know if you're trolling, but shut up. We're not playing. Just be quiet. Just be quiet. I loved it because Jimmy, what are you gonna say? Nothing. Pat Riley's. And it's funny too, because there's a school of thought. You say it's old school. It's from a school of thought. You can look at it either way. School of thought is I don't talk about the competition that beat me or still in the game. That's a school of thought. Mm-hmm. And where he came from, it was just like, once you took your L, and be quiet. You was quiet until the next season. That's it. But it's Mr. Riley. It's a new day. Floor is yours.
Yeah. It didn't bother me because I agree with Pat Riley, because I was saying this about Jimmy Butler last year during the playoff run when they were going to the finals. Jimmy has a tendency to talk a lot. And I'm not anti-trash talking, for the record. I enjoyed it in my basketball. I enjoyed it through the years. Reggie Miller and all these guys did it throughout the years. But there's a certain thing that you have to be a little more self-aware of what you're saying. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like this kind of thing he said here at F1, and look, it was off the record, the kind of thing we don't call it, but he knew he was doing. And for me, it's like, okay, I get it. but you're not. You didn't play in the playoffs at all. Not 1 minute in the playoffs. Okay, so what are you talking about? You're not here, and Pat Riley kind of laid the law down. Also, I do think to some degree, this is also a challenge, Jimmy Butler, because he is due an extension this year. Now, he has another year on his contract before the player option. So there's technically 2 years left in this deal, but the word is that Jimmy Butler wants another 2-year, $113 million extension added to his current deal. And so there's a lot of a little bit of pushback on both. There's a little bit of a little bit of a feeling on process between these two, and this may affect the possible, extension. Jimmy Butler now I think is 35 years old, so there's a lot of questions there. Another guy whose body of work, while good, Hall of Fame quality, yes. At the same time, his game not going to age well. This type of perimeter game, like Giannis, not going to age well. So, can you justify that kind of move?
We got a lot of people going fishing. It's on vacation. It's a lot of people that's going fishing. If I was Pat Riley, would I give Jimmy an extension? Probably. What else do I have out there, right?
Yeah.
Give him a 4-year deal, possibly, whatever the case may be. You don't have anybody unless Pat Riley's known to be a little crazy, Obviously, no one thought LeBron would leave Cleveland.
But he did it.
To go to Miami.
Yeah.
But he did. So I wouldn't be surprised if some strange things happen in the near future where it's just like, who's going to Miami? Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised. I don't know how much Giannis still has on his contract.
He has 3 years left in his deal.
Yeah. Obviously, you got Phoenix. The Phoenix debacle going on in Phoenix.
It's like Kevin Durant fit here, especially too, because he wants the ball. He's gonna be a leader. He wants the ball, and Miami has that already in place.
Yeah. If I'm Pat Riley, I'm asking for Booker.
That too.
I'm asking for Booker. Keep Katie over there. Keep it. He's not Miami. Booker aligns exactly with what Miami does. He aligns perfectly.
Right.
So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what Pat Riley does in the future. But he's never one to just sit back and let things happen to him.
Yeah, that's very true.
No.
All right, let's touch on the current playoff series right now. I'm going to start East-West first.
East.
Oh, let's go. First one. Boston's Cleveland 1-0. Game 2 tonight. Come on.
Yeah, it's a sweep. It's a sweep. It's going to be a sweep. Boston's up 1-0. They beat them. What they beat them? Let me look at this box score. You looking surprised? Wait, hold on now. Why are you surprised?
I'm not that surprised. I'm
Boston Cavs box score. Let's look at this box score because I know I looked up at one point during the game and 120-95. Yeah. I'm looking like, hey, oh no, I think it was blowing them out by a good substantial amount. And then I look at the box score and I'm like, let me take a look. Am I expecting this to you're like Dennis? Sweet.
Not one game. Cleveland.
Donovan Mitchell dropped 33, took 25 shots, and they were still getting cracked in the forehead.
I'm only saying it because of the fact that Boston always has a tendency to step off the gas. There'll be a game or two where they're like, okay, whatever. They'll have that one. It's Miami last series.
No, I agree. It happens. Specifically to some teams, it happens. In terms of Boston in the fourth quarter slowing down, right. It happens. I'm not even in dispute. Some series it happens. Some series it doesn't. When it comes to the Boston Celtics, last series it happened like maybe once or twice. Mm-hmm. I'm looking at the question was Dennis. Well, obviously I'm like it's going to be a sweep, and it's like, well, Dennis, how? It's like Donovan Mitchell has it 33. Mobley dropped 17. Garland dropped 14.
Do we see Jared Allen back in the series?
Who?
Jared Allen. Is he going to play the series at some point? He missed
game. Who knows?
They can use him. They can use
as a big body. They're hurt. But yeah, who knows? But once again, Boston don't have KCP. Boston don't have KCP. They did that without KCP. So let me go to the Boston. What Boston had? 32 for Brown, 25 for. Shout out to Derek White.
That dude, my wife hates him for the record. He hates him, hates his haircut, hates his hair before the haircut. He's annoying. I don't get you. Why do you hate him so much? He's a nice guy.
Because he's a winner. He's a winner. That's why you hate him. And I'm sitting back. I'm like, yo, not for nothing. I said,
you should see your reaction last year during the Game 6 against the Heat last year in the conference finals. The tap in. I hate that motherfucker. She hates him. She hates Kyle Lowry. Go ahead. Continue.
Yeah, I can see. Yeah, Kyle Lowry. I can see why people hate Kyle Lowry. He's annoying. But Derek White, man, I think he's been the best player on the Boston Celtics team this playoffs.
Oh yeah, without question.
And that tells you a lot. If he's the best
debate, yeah.
If he's the best player on the Boston Celtics, my God, you got a $300 million man on the right hand side, and he's not even the best player on the team, and he's making $300 million.
I don't know Derek White's. I gotta look up later on Derek White's contract situation, but he about to get paid soon.
He's on a discount. Let's put it like that. Yes, he's on a discount, and I think he made maybe first team all NBA. Let me see.
That first team can't be first all NBA.
Defense.
Oh, defense. Yes.
Defense. Let me see. I think he. They didn't. What did they? They have picks. Oh no, April 12th. Here we go. All NBA defense is right. Is it? Right
I think announced it.
They didn't announce it yet. Oh,
they haven't announced all NBA teams yet. I think that's next because they announced MVPs. We'll get to in a second, obviously, and rookie of the year and all that good stuff. They announced teams in this couple of days.
And I also think they need to change. They need to have two MVP. They need to have, the MVP for the season. They just gave it a Joker. The playoffs isn't over yet. What they need to do is give the MVP once the NBA Finals is over. I mean, once the Eastern Conference. Once each team is represented going to the NBA Finals, that's when you give the NBA the MVP because it'll take in the playoffs as well as the regular season.
That's the thing, though. The reason I don't do that is because the NBA MVP is literally just a regular season MVP, and I guess the Finals MVP kind of sort of represents that because you see players that play great in the second round of playoffs but don't make it past second round of playoffs. I get what you're saying. I get it.
NBA Finals is for those 4 games in the finals. Mm-hmm. That's just the 4 games.
Right. Oh, I agree. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's just the 4 games.
Right.
But what happens is you get an MVP that don't even make the playoffs, or you get an MVP that flames out in the second round of the playoffs. It is like, are you really an MVP if you can't even handle the playoffs? So why do you even have this trophy? Give me that trophy.
Yeah.
Let's see what everybody does during the regular season and the playoffs. Then give the MVP. See how things change.
Yes.
See how performances change during the regular season and the playoffs. Because some people it's nights off. It's nights off.
Yeah. All right, next series here. 2-0 Knicks over Pacers right now. You can smile. I know you're happy about the Knicks. Are you a Knicks fan now? No, you just.
It's my home. It's the team I'm closest to in city. So obviously, there's Randy J. Cruz is a rabid Knicks fan, and I know my market. So talk about them a little bit more than others. But I have it going 5 games. I'm giving Indiana 1 game. I'm hoping it's this next one because it's a layup. They're talking about fouls and they're talking about going home and not getting any calls. So this next game they're going to get like 500 calls.
But I have to admit though, they got a point.
Oh, I'm not in dispute. It's a wrestling match. It's WrestleMania.
I might root for Indiana in the series, but I'm telling you that the referees are skewed New York.
No. No. See, that's the thing. I don't watching the first 2 games, or even the Philly game. Like they're holding each other. They're holding. They're grabbing. They're pushing. Josh Hart did push Tyrese Halliburton on a fast break. Literally pushed him. Yes. They're grabbing Jalen Brunson. They're kicking him. They're kneeing him. The Knicks are complaining about fouls too. You see Tom Thibodeau on the sideline like
he's complaining a lot.
Yeah, it's not like they're not complaining. So Rick Carlisle, aka Jim Carrey.
I've heard one in a long time.
I respect Rick Carlisle so much because he's an old school coach. He doesn't play by the BS of the youngsters running this, running the locker room. He's the coach that's going to coach his team.
Right.
So I love him for that. But yeah, he's doing what he's supposed to do is get his team some balance. Shout out to him also too. He's gonna have to make a very, very strong decision.
About
Indiana fans, an argument can be made that TJ McConnell deserved to be on the floor last night for the last 5 minutes. Now, when I say that, I don't know who comes off. I don't know who comes off. All I'm saying is your man was slicing the Knicks.
Yep.
They had nothing for him. Nothing. Josh Hart, come get some. Jalen Brunson, come get some. Dante, you can have some too. And I don't know if they don't want to like rough him up. I don't know if because there's a couple of times that they were hip checking him on screens for Jalen Brunson. He would just get hit to the floor, get back up, and just run full speed, catch up to Jalen. I'm just like, this guy's a monster. So I say, that to say once again, I say, listen, if TJ's doing his work, it may be detrimental for him to be on the bench, Indiana. But I don't know who's going to be whose minutes he's going to take. But I think it was 18 and 10 he had. I mean, the Knicks, Sixers, no, Knicks Pacers box score. I think he had like 18 and 10. That is off the bench. No, I'm sorry. No. Wait, hold on. Am I looking at this correctly? I'm sorry. No. He had. This is game 2. He had 10 points and 12 assists. He was just dropping them. Then he crossed one play. He crossed Josh. I think it was Josh Hart. He crossed somebody. He crossed them.
12 assists. My God.
Yeah, 12 assists. He crossed them from right to left and then finished with his left hand. Then landed and looked at the crowd and said, "Ooh!"
Can we please get a consistent Halliburton? Halliburton, game 1, 6 points. Game 2, 34 points.
You said he had. Wait. Halliburton had.
He had 6 in game 1, 34 last night.
34.
Will the real Tyrese Halliburton please stand up?
34. You got to ask yourself how many did he have in the fourth quarter?
He had one throwaway 3 late in the game. I know that. Oh no, man! This team is, and look, I had Knicks in 7 before the series started. Knicks in 7. I'm still going to lean on that because I think this has been a competitive series. But let's see. Let's see how the officials officiate game 3 and 4. Because I could see Indiana winning these next 2 games. These games going to go either way, honestly. So, but by the way, and you and I are on the same page with this with Jalen Brunson. I mean, I'm gonna say it again. If this dude is not on first team All-NBA this year, stop voting. Don't vote anymore. You don't know about basketball. This dude is amazing.
Listen, you have Charles Barkley and Shaq talking about street meat and street meat in New York City, and they're not talking about why they were wrong and why the Knicks are actually good because they think it's a fluke. They're looking at Giannis going down. They're looking at Embiid going down. And they're just like, well, if they're healthy. This Knicks team's not even full strength.
No. Julius Randle's
this Knicks team is not full strength.
Yeah.
Which one is it? Are you going to give them props for not being full strength and being number 2 seed in the East? Or are you going to say that they didn't deserve to be number 2 seed in the East? Because
exactly. Pick your struggle.
You can't have it both ways.
Exactly. It's bad analysis, in my opinion. I totally agree with you on that one. All right, let's go to the West now. First off, Dallas, OKC up 1-0. I had Dallas in 6 when the series started. I want to see more with OKC. Great game 1 performance right there. It was a close game to the late third quarter, and then they pulled away. It'll show me a lot if OKC could also win game 2 as well. Honestly, I think this is a must-win for OKC tonight.
Yeah, I'm picking OKC to win because of the length, because of the height against Dallas. And I don't believe Luka is healthy enough. I see Luka limping. He's favoring his right knee.
That's not good. If he's limping, that's not good.
He's favoring his right knee. So that's a concern for me. My my excitement is over the Timberwolves Denver series. That's the NBA Finals. That's the Western Conference Finals to me.
Oh, absolutely. It's going now. It's going now.
So yeah, so I'm. It's unfortunate. It's very unfortunate that Jamal Murray is not healthy. It's very unfortunate. Because if he was, then it'd be a great series. But he's not healthy. So it's.
But I also do think though too. Also, let me cut you off there. But I will say also too. In addition to Jamal being healthy, and I agree with that. But I also think a lot of what's going on here is less about Denver, more about Minnesota's defense is playing. I have not seen defense play that well across on all 94 feet since the Bulls of freaking 1996.
They're number one in the league in defense. Number one. Yeah. Number two, got the defensive player of the year, Rudy Gobert.
Yeah.
Number three.
Who didn't even play game 2 for the record?
Facts. Number three, you have where that's why I said Jamal Murray's health. I would have loved to seen him healthy dealing with this, but because he's not, it looks crazy, right? Minnesota's long, they're athletic, they're young, and they like to play defense. They play defense from top to bottom. So I said Denver's in trouble. I believe that to be the absolute truth, unless Jamal Murray snaps out of it. Michael Porter Jr. sitting there averaging 9 points. Joker, and I think I've spoken to you a couple of times about what Joker's what a team would need to do in order to compete with the team that has to compete with Denver in general. I said you need 3 centers, possibly 2, that are offensive minded. One of the 2 are offensive minded, and you need one of the 2 has to be defensive. It just so happens Minnesota has 3. One's a defensive player, one's Cat, and one's the most improved player in Naz Reid, coming off the bench, and 2 of them can shoot, and 2 of the centers can shoot threes.
That team is so sick, so sick.
Well, so what do you do? Like that's exactly what you need to go against Joker, because he can't rest on offense.
And we're talking about that, and we haven't even mentioned Anthony Edwards yet.
I don't need to. That's the point. Hey, cat, get off my. See, my cat. Get off my cat scratching my couch. Get off my couch, buddy.
I got the couch. I get it.
Yeah. No, see, it's gonna be an issue. Yeah, don't need to.
So let me ask you this: this Anthony Edwards debate here. Lots of conversations about Edwards. My neighbors, who will be on this podcast tonight, recorded tonight. Big debate about Edwards. One of my neighbors says that Anthony Edwards he said this before the season started, that he's the best player in basketball already. I pushed back on him. I said maybe top 10, top 5. I don't know. Where are you on Edwards now currently? Is he top 10, top 5, best player? Where are you at right now with Edwards?
Yeah, I mean, he's in the window of 5. I mean, he's not. I don't think he's playing right now. I don't think he's playing the best basketball. I think the person playing the best basketball is Jalen Brunson. Overall in the league right now in the playoffs, Jalen Brunson's playing the best basketball, and then Ant-Man, and then you can go ranking down there. Overall, all the players combined regular season next year, will he be top 5? Possibly. Possibly. SGA, Luka, possibly, for sure. I love him because he plays both sides of the ball.
Yes.
That's the only thing that excites me truly about him, is he's excited like your Kobe's, like your Jordans.
It's flashy.
He's excited to actually play on offense and play on defense. And I think a lot of it too is a lot of what we're drawn to, NBA fans are drawn to Anthony Edwards, is his naivete. He don't know no better.
he don't know better, and he just doesn't give a fuck.
He's 22. He doesn't know any better. And that makes everybody. It goes back to the Charles Barkley days where he was just saying anything when he was playing, and everybody loved Charles because you would get a soundbite because he just didn't care.
Yeah,
that's what you're getting with Anthony Edwards, but he's 22, so he's just like, I was laughing when I was talking to KD. I called him an old man. Called Kevin Durant an old man. Yeah, I called him an old man. That's my people's. I love him. I think he's one of my favorite players, but he's in my way. He's an old man. I was like,
So you hear.
This is why I come here for this type of entertainment value. I love it. I need it. But yeah, Western Conference Finals is going to be crazy. OKC.
It's over, right? The series over.
OKC, yes. OKC, Denver. OKC, Minnesota. One of these teams is going to the finals for the very first time, which is going to be very, very interesting. These teams. Not OKC's obviously been there before.
Right.
But in general, I'm just like, wow.
And it's funny. We talk about changing the guard. Look at the marquee guys that have been eliminated from the play-in or from the playoffs altogether already in the first round. LeBron, KD, Steph, you name it. A bunch of Embiid, a bunch of guys. And you're seeing the shift right now in the league now. The SGAs now getting some shine now on a mainstream level now. Anthony Edwards, all these new guys now coming through, busting through here, like nothing else. This is a real change in the guard moment for the NBA, and I love it.
Oh well, yeah, but also to understand, those teams had to stink for decades.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yes, OKC had two things. OKC had the wherewithal to be like, we're gonna stink, but we're just gonna continue to gather draft picks.
Yeah,
that's different from just you're naturally going through your draft and then trading. Minnesota Timberwolves, they had to stink to get Karl-Anthony Towns. They had to stink to get Ant-Man. Then they did a trade for Gobert.
Yeah,
brought in Mike Conley. So these are little pieces that you're adding along with stinking for a period of time. So you have to go through ups and downs and have a great GM. But yeah, I got a couple more minutes before I got to get out of here. Now that I'm thinking about it.
Okay, let's race real quick. All right, Jokic MVP. You agree? Yes, disagree?
Agree. MVP 3-time.
Okay. Wemby Rookie of the Year.
Rookie of the Year. Landslide.
Easy.
Landslide.
Darvin Ham firing. Fair, unfair.
Both. Unfair because he didn't have 3 years. You could say it's unfair because what else did you want him to do with that roster? And then fair, they weren't listening to him.
LeBron James, coach killer, yes or no?
No.
Oh.
No.
Okay.
No, he's not a coach killer. No.
All right. One last thing to get you out of here. One last thing. The Kendrick Drake beef.
Kendrick filleted him. It was a fillet situation. I thought Euphoria was the icing on the cake, but they're not like us.
God, I love that. Play that song today on the way to school with my kids.
They not like us. It's something else. I mean, apparently he heard, he was like, oh, they want to pop. Euphoria wasn't enough. They want to pop. Got you. No problem. Press play. Bing. And then it was dun, dun, dun. I said, wait, what? It's up there with one of the greatest. I have a lineup. Hit 'em up. Tupac,
right.
Takeover, Jay-Z. Mm-hmm. Nas, Ether. No Vaseline. Ice Cube. This is up there with those. They not like us. This is up there, right there with those hard-hitting, no dispute, no debate disses. Right up there. It's not even a question. Top 5 possibly. So
really,
top 5 easily. Like I said, hit them up. No Vaseline, Takeover, Ether. That's about 3-4. You throw that in there. It's the beat is hot. What he's saying is crazy. And then I'm not even going to talk about Euphoria. Now he dissed him in like 3 different flows. It doesn't even make three different flows. He dissed him in three different flows.
Yes.
You got people that can't even change their own flow one time. He did 3.
That A minor one was that line was sick. Oh my God. Oh my God. Were you ever a Drake guy? No.
I mean, I listen to both, but the concept is, and I gotta go. The concept is, they're both great, but Kendrick got this one.
Yeah, absolutely. Gentleman sweep at best. That's it. Plug away, plug.
It's in the game podcast, Instagram and Twitter. Holler at us, Randy J. Cruz. We talk about it. We be about it. It's basically basketball of a narrative. You heard?
You got it, man. See you in a couple weeks, man. Good job.
I holla.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.